everybody, I am Janvi Pawar. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you people are new over here, then welcome to my YouTube channel. Do subscribe. In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 things that we always have to keep in our mind while we are learning a language or while we are learning English. So let's get started. Point number 1. Frequently used vocabulary. Now, we all are aware of this, is that whenever we need to learn a language, we need to have a good understanding of the words that native speakers use on a daily basis. But the problem with us is we're going to go on our Google and we search for meanings or for some very complicated and complex words. Believe me, those words, they're not even used by native speakers. But what we have to have a good grasp on are the kind of words they use on a daily basis. So very frequently used words, and how you can become aware of those by watching different movies, by listening to podcasts, by reading basic novels in that language, or by watching news in that language. Because believe me, if you're going to use complex and very complicated words, that's just going to show, oh, you have crammed a lot of words that native speakers do not use, and that's also gonna prove, okay, so you're not fluent in this language. Believe me, it does. So you only have to make yourself aware of the kind of words they use on a daily basis so that you can use those same words. Point number 2, a very realistic conversation is very important. To learn a language means you can hold a conversation very fluently with anyone, with a native speaker, with basically any person in that language, and in a very fluent manner, right? So holding that conversation doesn't mean is that you have to use the kind of vocabulary or you have to use the kind of sentences they use while they're writing or they use while they are in a very formal kind of setting. No, you have to hold a very realistic conversation. So always listen or watch dialogues, in a movie or in some sort of series, anything basically, and that's going to give you an idea of their body language and the kind of expressions they use while having that conversation. And that's also going to give you the idea of the basic phrases and idioms they use in what situations and in what scenarios. Point number 3, that is pretty important, basic sentences. Now, we all know my name is Janvi. I study in class this. Well, I don't study in a class. I've done my post-graduation, but so basic introduction, correct? But now many people think, all right, so we're going to notch it up a little. We're going to make it a little bit more complex, and that's just going to prove, oh, we're very fluent. That's not going to happen. You have to look at very basic sentences. What kind of basic sentences? The kind of sentences they use in their daily life. Like, all right, what you up to? Hey, what are you doing? Where have you been? These kind of basic sentences, and I've already made too many videos on these sentences, and I'm going to link them below in the description box. So go and watch those as well. But the problem with us people is that we always try to, just do everything in a great manner. That's just going to prove, oh, that girl knows a lot of vocabulary, a lot of complex sentences, and she used big sentences as well. You do not have to do any of those things. You just have to learn some basic sentences by listening to different dialogues, and you have to use those basic sentences in your daily life. And that's how it's going to happen. Natural practice. So speak those sentences whenever you can. 4 point, slangs. All right, whenever you learn a language, now it's also important, and it's actually pretty mandatory. Well, for the past few years, it has become mandatory because slangs have taken, a great deal of our lives. So what's going to happen is when you're going to use slangs, it's going to seem natural. The language which you're learning, if you're learning English, if you're learning French, Spanish, any language, and if you're going to use slangs while having a conversation in that language, that's going to make you seem like a native speaker, and that's also going to come very natural. Otherwise, it's going to be like, all right, all of the formal introduction, all of the formal sentences, but anything informal that people use on a daily basis or that native speakers use. So that's what slangs are for. So always go on your Google, search for slangs in that language, or listen to different conversations, informal conversations, not formal, where they use slangs. And that's also going to give you an idea in what scenarios and in what situation to use those particular slangs. Point number 5. Confidence, people. Confidence is the main thing. I've seen so many people with a bad English, but their confidence, it even passes a native speaker's confidence. Like their confidence is up to here, and nobody notices their bad English or their bad grammar. Nobody does. So confidence is the main thing. And believe me, when you have knowledge, it's gonna ooze very naturally. But when you have a great deal of knowledge, you have to use that knowledge somewhere. You know, if you know a little bit of words, not too many, I'm just talking about a little bit of a chunk of words in that new language, start using those words with full confidence. Just make sure you know in what situations to use those words. That's why I gave you the point of realistic conversations. So start using those words, and with a great level of confidence. Always have this inside this, you know, have that great strength inside you, like, yes, I know this word, I know in what situations to use this word, and I can use this with perfection. That's what you gotta do. So always have a great deal of confidence. And believe me, even if you don't know a language, even if you know basic words, that doesn't mean you're less intelligent, and that doesn't make you less intelligent. You know where to use those words? That's enough. Just use them with confidence and show, like, yes, you're learning a language. Believe me, it's gonna boost up, it's gonna bolster your confidence so much. That's what you gotta do. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna link some videos down in the description box below. Make sure you go and watch those as well. Make sure you follow all of these tips and avoid these mistakes when you're learning a language, and you're gonna become fluent just like a native speaker in a matter of few months. Thank you everybody. Gonna see you in the next video, and stay safe, do share, and bye.